But you could be saying, well, Michelle, I'm not really sure which database is going to be the best for my topic. So that's when I suggest, instead of going to the A to Z list, instead of starting off with just the list, we go to our research guides. Now, our research guides are put together by topic. So that means that everything that we're going to be finding in each research guide is related to that topic. So for us, of course, today, we're going to look at healthcare administration. So once I click on research guides, I'm going to scroll down to healthcare administration. So I went research guides. Now I'm going to healthcare administration. And here is basically our jumping off point. Now, this page that you're seeing right here is identical to the one that you're going to find in your library tools button in Canvas. So over on the left-hand side in Canvas, you'll see like there's a menu and it says like assignments and textbook hub and all those things. One of them is library tools. And when you click on library tools, it gives you the option to go to the healthcare administration library tool. It's going to land you on this exact page. So it's just two different ways to get to the same place. So here we are, healthcare administration. It's kind of our launch pad for everything else. Here we have finding articles in databases, finding books. We have some information on health statistics. So if you want a couple of websites that are reliable ways to find statistical or demographic information, there's that information here. Here's some search tips. If you forget everything we've talked about and you want to look at a tutorial, there's some here. And then of course, APA. We love our APA. If you need any help with APA, there is a tab for that here. I've basically gathered everything that you might need to know about the library for this course in one place. So it makes it easier. You don't have to go clicking all over the place to try to find things. So speaking of finding things, let's go back to looking for articles and let's talk about some of these more specialized subject-specific databases. So I'll go ahead and click Find Articles and Databases. And here we have some of the top ones for healthcare administration. Now, as you guys know, healthcare administration is kind of this overlap between healthcare, right? So we're going to have our health databases and business. So we're going to have our business databases. So when I compiled this list, I really tried to make sure that both of those areas were represented. So for example, IBIS World, that's a business database. We have Business Source Premier, that's a business database. And then for the health side, we have CINAHL, that's a health database. PsycInfo, that's psychology or behavioral database. I have PubMed, that's going to be a medicine database. So each one of those is in here. So I just tried to make the list that is over 300 for all of the colleges basically shorter for just this department. Okay, so let's start with Academic Search Complete though, because I do feel like we could approach things very multidisciplinary when it comes to healthcare administration. So I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to click on Academic Search Complete. It's thinking, I guess. Here we go. All right. So, but the first thing I'm going to do is, because my topic is healthcare marketing, I want to make sure that I'm adding a health database and a business database. And one of the things that I love about Academic Search Complete is that it will allow me to add a couple of partner databases and do a search just once. Okay, so I'm going to click on Academic Search Complete and I'm going to select, let's see, Business Source Premier right there. And then CINAHL. CINAHL is a health database. The H and the L is for health literature. So I'm going to choose both of those. I'm going to hit select. And now you'll notice not only is Academic Search Complete there, but it says and two more. So it's the both of those. So now it's like I'm searching through 3 stores simultaneously. So I'm looking at Target and Ulta and Sephora all at the same time for my mascara. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do healthcare marketing again. Oops. Okay. And let's add another area. Let's go with social media. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do my search. Okay, so I got 245 results. Now, for me, that seems like a lot, but at the same time, I feel like this is a very broad topic. So if you've ever been in this position, maybe you're familiar. How many of you guys have been in this position where you're searching for articles and maybe you feel like you're not pulling as many as you should and you feel like you could increase your numbers a little bit? How about a thumbs up for if that's ever happened to you, where you feel like you're not getting enough articles? Has that ever happened to you guys? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here's one strategy that we can use to expand our search a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to where it says advanced search, which is basically going to bring me back to those three boxes again. Now, one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to move social media down one box, move it down there. And then I'm going to move marketing down one box, and I'm going to separate healthcare as a term and marketing as a term because I know that I could phrase those in different ways. And that's important when we're thinking about databases. If we were searching in Google, Google Analytics knows to go ahead and be like, oh, by marketing, I know you also mean advertising and blah, 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 right? It knows to make those assumptions. Databases don't do that. And they don't do that on purpose. They're trying to only bring you back exactly what you asked for. They're not trying to flood you with things that you don't want. So when it's only looking for marketing, it's not going to look for any other terms that we would consider to be equivalent. Okay. So let's do this for healthcare. We're going to say healthcare or, and the or is important. Healthcare or, I'm going to add this one right here, do marketing or, advertising, promotion, or branding, social media or, and just grab the longest one. Okay, so my topic isn't changing, but you'll notice that the phrasing that I'm using to describe my topic is. I have each of these terms with an or in between. Now, or is acting as a Boolean operator. It's basically saying to the database, this term or this term is fine with me. Pick any one from this list. Pick any one from this list and combine it with any one from this list and combine it with anyone from this list. And I'm telling it to cover all three topics with this little and over here in this box. So it's saying one of these and one of these and one of these. Okay, so now that I've kind of separated it out and I've added all of these terms, let's see if we can expand our search that way. I'll go ahead and do search. And I think we had like 245 before. Okay, so now we have 6,027. Okay, you could be saying, but Michelle, I don't want to read 6,000 articles. Okay, noted. Okay, here's a couple of things to tell us what we can do when we're feeling overwhelmed by too many. Okay, we could add another term. I could put in a geographic location. I could put the United States. I could put, a different country. I could put a, something like that to basically narrow it down even more. But one thing that we should definitely do is use our filters. So I'm going to go up here to the top. I know I want peer reviewed. That's often required for the assignments. The dates I want to probably look at the last 5 years because social media has really changed in the last 5 years. So I'll go ahead and choose last 5 years. And let's see, a couple more. I'm going to add some filters, bring these up over here on the side. Let's see. Well, I know one that I like to pick is that I'm only fluent in English. And so I like to make sure that I'm not sad when I find articles I can't read. This is like an avoiding sadness filter. So this should really just say avoiding sadness. But I'm going to pick this one right here and hit apply so that I don't fall in love with articles that I can't read because then I'm sad. So now we have all of these articles, and really this is the bare minimum of the different filters that I would use when I'm looking for something. Now you'll notice we did cut this down to over half of what we had before, a little bit, we removed over half. So now we have 2,595. Okay. So you could be saying, but Michelle, I still don't want to read 2,000 articles. Okay. You may never have to, because this right now, this list that we are working with is sorted by relevance. That means that everything that is most relevant to our terms is going to float to the top. You may never need to get past number 100. So don't worry about that number too much. Just make sure you put in your filters, make sure you use your good terms, and don't worry about that number too much. Okay, unless it's 1 or a million. If it's 1, then there's probably a problem. And if it's a million, you probably want to add more terms and filters. So that's just my note for that. So here we have our first one, which says health advertising on Instagram. Is it effective while following ethical guidelines? So that seems pretty cool to me. I think it's a super awesome article. I decide I want to use it. So this comes to the issue of finding the full text. Sometimes we can do our searches just fine, but then when it comes to finding the full text, that's when we have a little bit of a barrier. So the ways that you can find the full text are usually going to be embedded in the results list. This right here, it says check CSULB for full full text access. So that's telling me that the PDF isn't readily available right here. And let's just say I want to find one that is. Then I go to this one that says access options. This one, the PDF is right there. So if I click on that one, it'll take me to the full PDF right here. Love it. Amazing. And then I could go ahead and read through this, check the abstract, and see, is this about what I want it to be about? Okay. So keep in mind that these little boxes below the results are telling you when it is and isn't available, but only in this database. So let's go back up to number one. So getting the PDF, that's easy peasy. But if we go here, let's go ahead and check on this one that the PDF isn't readily available. Let's see what happens when we click on that one. So when I click on check CSULB, it's basically checking all the under 300 plus databases to see if it just happens to live somewhere else. Okay, so sure enough, here is full text availability, and it's giving me two different places that I could access this. Now, it is giving me open access links. So those are a little bit less reliable access-wise, just because they're basically linking you back out to the free web, not to some other area of the library. But sometimes it's not so bad. So let's go ahead and click on this one. And we try to address that here. We may need to resubmit the search. Freely available search is not maintained by the library. Access may be inconsistent. We do try to give you a little warning, but let's see what happens if I click on this one. Okay, so it's right here. It's giving us the journal. So then I would need to go into the archives and try to find basically this journal, whichever one was listed in the actual citation for this, which was 2024 volume 2 1. So then I'd go to 2024 volume 2. So then I would go here, right? So then I could go click this one. It's just a little bit of like following the breadcrumbs to get to where you need to be, but it's still going to be here. The PDFs are still there. You can see them, right? The PDFs are still there, but the breadcrumb trail is just a little bit longer when it comes to free access. Okay. But when you see things like this, we could still get to the full text. So just because you don't see the PDF embedded right away, don't be dismayed. If it's an article that you really want, go ahead and click on the check CSULB for access, and then it should be there. Now, one thing I would like to show you is what happens when we don't have it. So that one was a good example of what happens when it's an open access. Let's see if there's one that we don't have. It is really slow. Okay, not that one. One more time. Trying to find something we don't have, which is so counter to my mission in life. Okay, let's see. It is thinking. Yay. Okay. So, yay, I found something we don't have. Okay. So when we scroll down, if we don't have something, oh, it wants me to sign in again. When we scroll down beyond this, it's basically going to give me a box that allows me to request this item. Okay. So here is an item that I would like. It's from 2025. I'm noticing that we do have physical copies, but they only go to 2004. That means that I'm going to need to request this. So if this is my dream article, I'm drawing hearts around it, I want it so bad, then instead of, kind of looking for it other places, we would go ahead and request this item. It's right here. Now, the one thing that I do request that you do is check and see if it's in Google first, just because sometimes it can be in open access. We can check that right now. But if it's not there, then we'd go right here, we'd click on Get It, and then a little window would pop up and it asks you like two questions. And then basically, because I'm signed in, it knows who I am and it's going to request that for me. And then when the library, secures that item, they will email you and send you a PDF that allows you to read that article, no cost to you. It's all free. So now keep in mind, the library does have to pay for this, right? We have to pay for the copyright permissions to get it. So don't go and do this like 100 times just for funsies, right? Do this only for things that you actually want. So, but let's talk about that Google backup plan. So here we have Google Scholar, and this is what I suggest you do before we buy something through the library. Let's go ahead and check Google Scholar. So when I check Google Scholar, you'll notice that we have this view right here. It's giving me the links, but you'll notice that it doesn't give me a right-hand side column. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so let's see. Let me just move this out of the way. So let me put in just a random search. Here we go, healthcare marketing strategies. Over here, when the library owns it and you're using Google Scholar, you'll see this right-hand side margin appear. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you use Google Scholar on the regular, but if it is your like kind of database of choice, that's totally fine. I just suggest that when you use it, you make sure it's affiliated with the library so that everything that you get is that free copy, not the publisher's copy where they're asking you to pay for it, right? So in order to set that up, you'll go ahead and click Menu, Settings, Library Links, and then you'd search for Cal State Long Beach, which I've already done here, and then you'd hit search and save. You get up to 5 libraries. So if you are a member at, Long Beach Public Library or LBCC or Orange County Public Library, LA, Public Library, what have you, if you're, if you have any of these library, authentication privileges, you can add those here. And then that just kind of creates even more options for there to be the likelihood that you'd be able to find the full text of what you're looking for. So again, when the full text is available, you'll see it over here on the right-hand side, right here. So I'll just click on one of those. And then you'll notice up here at the tippity top, you can see it says it's being brought to you by the library. So other people would have to pay for this copy, but because we're securing the library's copy, you're going to get it for free because you're a student. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing because again, we've covered a lot. How are we feeling out there regarding search strategies and finding articles? Do we have any questions at the moment? Anything at all? You can put them in the chat if you don't want to say it out loud. Okay, you're feeling pretty prepared, Okay. All right, so we are going to be doing a little assignment together today. So before we do that, I just want to do a little bit of a chat about APA citations before we move into you guys doing some practice, okay? So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen one more time, and we will go ahead and look at APA. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and get us out of here. Okay, so you'll notice that it can appear a couple of different ways when it comes to the citations. Now, I don't mind you using citation generators. Citation generators, so we're in, one of the OneSearch kind of results lists right now, and you'll see the little quotation marks right here. The quotation marks are a good indicator that that's a cite generator. So our citation generator. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and then it's going to give me this citation right here, okay? So those will work in a variety of places. So here's one in that viewpoint. Let's go over here to this one. Let's see, over here, I think under the ellipses, there's a citation one here, right? It's over here. So keep in mind they can appear in different places, but a lot of the times the citation generators do an okay job, but some of you may have noticed that sometimes they do a not okay job. So for example, this one right here is a citation that I selected from our list, and I kind of knew it was going to be wrong because if you notice the way that the author presented the title, it's with all caps right here, right? Every single word starts with a capital. Proper APA citation is only first word after a colon, and a proper noun. So for this to be APA citation correct, I would need to have only the first word and then just this A after the colon capitalized, nothing else. I'd have to lowercase everything else. So you'll notice when we go down here to the citation as it was generated by the robot, they kept those caps. It just takes things and regurgitates it in the formula. So it's not making these tiny corrections. It looks to me like everything else from this is correct. So you could use the rest of the citation, but just be aware that when everything is capitalized like this, you're going to need to go in and manually make these lowercase. And that's just a quirk of it taking the metadata and regurgitating it. It's not going to recapitalize everything. Maybe one day, the robots will do that. But as of right now, you'll need to look for that error. Okay. So for today's assignment, I'm not going to worry about things being too correct. So for today's assignment, you can go ahead and cut and paste the APA citations as you generate them. Google Scholar has a citation generator. That one's usually a little bit more correct, but not 100% of the time. So just know that they're not always correct, right? That they're not always going to be correct and that you may have to go in and change them. So you may be saying, but Michelle, I don't necessarily know how to make it correct. So we're going to take this walk one more time through the research guide. So research guides, scrolling down to healthcare administration. And we're going to go to our Launchpad, and it's right over here for citing and writing. This right here as a bunch of resources. I know Purdue OWL is a really popular one. For me, that one gets a little bit wordy. I don't necessarily need to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. My personal favorite is this one right here from Northwest Missouri. When I click on that one, it gives me, and I go to the type of item I'm looking at, it gives you a color-coded copy of what a correct one would look like. So for example, we just talked about all the capitals. This, you'll notice everything is decapitalized except for that first word. You know, we have our italics, we have a volume and issue. It just gives like a good kind of grading, if you will, if you wanted to use the citation generators. So keep in mind that these APA examples and tools are here right within the same tab that we were looking at within the Launchpad, okay? All right, so for our assignment, because we're all experts now, so for our assignment, let me go ahead and share that with you. Let me go ahead and grab a different screen here. Okay, so this right here is your assignment for today. So we're going to be breaking up into groups. Don't be scared, it's going to be fine. We're going to be breaking up into groups, all right? And each one of the groups is going to fill out one slide as a group. This is very low stakes, one slide as a group. So the slide deck starts out like instructional. So you'll go through the steps of how to get to where we were just talking about. If you've been paying attention, you can skip most of this. But if you miss something when you're getting a glass of water, what have you, so then this will guide you through how to get to our jumping off point of going to the HCA research guide and selecting a database. Then you'll be assigned one of these slides. This is what a complete one looks like. This is what an empty one looks like. So this is going to be the slide for room 1. Breakout room 1 will have this as their research topic. They will go ahead and, oops, that's not supposed to be there. You guys get to pick yours. You can go ahead and select the database that you want. You'll pick some keywords and you'll paste your the favorite article that you found. Try to find an article within the last 5 years, peer-reviewed, preferred. And then go ahead and paste that APA citation right in here. There is a puzzle linked right down here. Go ahead and do that puzzle. That has a nice jigsaw puzzle for APA. If you have the sound on, you get a very satisfying clicky noise, which I do enjoy. So each room will complete one of these. You'll have these remaining items over here on your exit ticket. Once your exit ticket is done, you can come back to the main room and chill and wait for everybody else to finish. Okay. So I'll go ahead and drop the link into the chat, but are there any questions? Any questions regarding the assignment? We're feeling pretty good. Okay, very good, very good. Let me go in and noodle a couple of things here. And then we'll go ahead and get started with our groups. We're going to have, let's see, how many rooms did I make? We made 5 rooms, so we're going to have 5 breakout rooms. So that should be easy to manage. That'll put kind of a lot of people in the room too, so y'all can kind of chit chat about it. I had one question earlier, which was, does everybody have to like fill in the slide, or can it be one person? Of course, I want you to be, kind of talking about things, but if you want to have one person as like the designated scribe or what have you, that's fine. I'm also going to make sure that, yes, multiple participants. So you should also be able to share your screen with your group. So if you want to have somebody share their screen, then everybody can work off of that one slide, etc. Okay. Okay, so let's see, we'll go ahead and drop that right in there. Everybody should be able to access it. Okay, so y'all don't have any questions, so we're going to go ahead and make our breakout rooms. Just going to make them random. And I encourage you to turn on your cameras, talk to your colleagues. It's just going to be you in the room. I'll pop in and say hi and check on you, but it's just going to be you and probably like, 4, 5 other people. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. Okay. Jacqueline, are you able to see the breakout room invitation?
Good call.
Does she go by Jacqueline or Jackie?
I think about Jacqueline. That's what
Jacqueline,
I don't have anything beside it.
okay. Jacqueline, can you see the breakout room invitation? You there?
Okay. I'm gonna send her off to the waiting room.
Okay. Okay.
And then oh, here we go. She went.
Oh, she went. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sent y'all an email yesterday for extra credit on Friday to go listen, and the Zoom link is on there. And the Tien Nguyen, who is doing the presentation, was sitting in the same spot you are just a little over a year ago. And he's going to tell you all about what it's like first year out. And he loves his job, so it's going to be from a really good perspective. And I will be there. And if you come and stay the whole time, you'll get 2 points extra credit. Remember, 2 points doesn't seem like a lot, but it can make the difference between an A and a B, a B and a C, C and a D, and a D and an F, because we don't look at that. And if at the end of the semester you're rocking between 2 scores, and I see you didn't do any of the extra credit, you're not going to get much help getting bumped up. So be sure and take advantage of the extra credit. And I think you'll really enjoy Tien anyway. He really loves the area and loves his job. Okay, let me see. Do we have any, Jennifer, any updates on anything that you want to tell them about UPD or student forum?
Yes, we had passed like the memberships, so you might have seen that we took a while on answering, so please just bear with us. We are just trying to reformate certain things, and also we are trying to create a specific this quarter only for UPD members, and we will be getting back to you. We're just working on the networking events and the things for the graduation of the semester.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no questions, remember we don't have class for a couple of weeks. I will send you email reminders. Be working on your assignments and your group activity, and I'll see y'all soon. Have a great week.
Where do we find the invisible extra credit?
It's invisible.
Yeah, where is that at?
It's out there with the rest of the invisible things.
I might need those 2 points at the end of the semester.
Then I will see you at Tien's presentation on Friday.
Fair enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Professor,
Uh-huh.
I had a question about the extra credit. I won't be able to attend it since I have work that day around that time. I was wondering if I
Huh?
can do something else for the extra credit points.
Typically we don't. Sometimes they record it.
Mm,
If they record it and you want to watch it, then you can get it that way.
okay, thank you.
All right. All right. And they're not always on Friday. Sometimes they're on Wednesday. So you'll have other opportunities.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You bet. All right. Thanks, Jennifer.
Hi, Professor. I came in late. I just
I
wanted to make sure you saw me.
I did, and I gave you credit.
Okay, thank you. Have
You're
a good night.
welcome. You too. Okay, Jennifer, what's up?
I'm sorry for I don't know, it's my camera not working. I don't think so. Um,
That's okay.
first of all, I just wanted to say like thank you for the extension. I know I haven't talked to you about it, and maybe you didn't even know that I have the VBAC accommodations. Um,
No, I do know about BMAX. I already changed all your quizzes.
oh no, thank you. Thank you very
Uh-huh.
much. I did see that. Um, I've been meeting, well, I submitted things late and I've been behind. I did talk to Shiam about it. Um, we had our meeting. I'll tell you right now, and because I have the chance to tell you, and when I can, I will write the email. Because for the life of me, so I'm diagnosed with major depression and I have PTSD. And since Saturday night, for the life of me, I cannot write anything. To do one assignment has taken me like a week, which it shouldn't take me that long. Or I've been just, to be honest, I don't know what's going on or what has like, why am I like, why is it like this right now? Like, it hasn't gotten this bad. Um, so Saturday we had a meeting for like the in-person event that I was telling you about. What they want to do. I don't know if you know Family Feud.
Yeah,
What? So
I love that show.
I don't know nothing about it. So Alexis and the other one, and I think Akachuko, he suggested that. So what we're planning to do is kind of collab with Student Forum, not to do it only UPD. And what we're gonna do is gonna be UPD and Student Forum doing the Family Feud. Um, she did tell I know I have previously talked to you about it. But she did tell me I needed to send you an email for you if would give us approval to do this kind of thing. Akachuko, he's gonna do the presentation, like the questionnaire and everything. Um, so he is gonna be, I guess, the host or she. Uh, I don't know how that works, to be honest. That I never watched that show.
Oh, you haven't?
I
I
have
can't imagine how it would work, but with in a situation like this, but it's all right with me. Have y'all found a room?
no. So we are planning to do that, and also on the time and day. It's another thing that's concerning to us because we're thinking like late evening, but most of us have classes, like the whole war has class on Wednesdays, which we can do right after class. Shiam is the only one that's not in campus of that day, but overall, like most of us are like in campus.
So what
Um,
time would that be? That'd be like 9:30 or something?
like
Because that would be
three
too
or
late.
four,
Huh?
3 or 4,
For I'm sorry.
three
I
or
mean, what?
4 p.m.
Well, somehow you're bleeping out. Try it one more time.
So it's not only my mental health that has been bad. This whole computer has been shutting on me too. We are not sync. Like no, we are synced in. I guess like the computer and I. Um,
Oh,
we were thinking like 3 or 4, so it wouldn't go that late. But we
oh,
would
3 or 4. You mean like 3 or 4 in the afternoon?
yes,
Oh,
but
okay.
we would also we're thinking like 6 or 5, 7ish.
I wouldn't stay too late. For instance, today I was sitting on a bench waiting for my boyfriend to pick me up because I didn't want to park. So he took me to campus, and I was it was about 4:15, and this guy approached me, and clearly he was a hustler, did not belong on our campus. I mean, it's just not safe. I don't think to be there after dark, people walking to their cars and stuff. I don't think we should encourage that. So if you're going to do it online, it's no big deal because you're home. But I would not encourage people to come to a meeting that might, put them in the parking lot and he didn't do anything to me or anything, but it made me feel very uncomfortable. And, when my boyfriend drove, he goes, "What's that guy doing?" He said, "He looked like he's acting crazy." And I said, "Yeah, I kind of thought so too." Then when I got up and walked away, and he went and started accosting somebody else. So,
I'll
I mean, he
consider.
didn't do anything that I could report him for or anything like that, but I just don't, I just don't think it's a good idea for us to expose people at night walking around the campus if we can avoid it.
Yeah, well, we were also thinking of asking, you know how we have the Discord? Um,
Uh-huh.
to put a poll on the Discord and see what day would work best for, I guess, the majority, and see
Yeah.
what results we get and go from there. But since I've been the one taking on the role for this, I've been since Saturday, like I'm telling you, since Saturday, it has gone downhill. So I've been delaying that. And as soon as I get it together, whatever I need to get it to get together, um, I think we are plan to work that, or I just pass it to Shim so she can move on and start doing it. Because she was either planning to do it like after the meeting that we are gonna have this Friday. Um, but I also need to talk to Shana about it, which I have not yet. But I do know that I need to talk to her so we can see also if they would be okay with doing this with us.
Yeah, I just strongly recommend you not do it late.
Yes, yes.
7 or 8, I think, should be your cap, you
And I
know.
think like also on the options that we do on the toll, it will be already us um pre-selecting for before that.
Yeah.
It's not that late because I'm accounting for it like the thing to be like at least an hour, like uh an hour. That's one thing that we need to, I guess, work that out too. Like how long will everything take? Like just the family view, because we also would like to have like the members just introduce themselves to and the time they take and people come late and have classes. So um that's one thing that we need to, I guess, prepare on.
Yeah, that's the reason they went to Fridays was originally was because it was really hard because we have all the 4 to 6:45 and 7 to 9:45 classes. So, and we have no classes on Friday. So, that was the only time that there wasn't, 17 conflicts. So, you're going to have a tough time, you know, First off, I know I've told y'all this, but I'll tell you again, students don't want to come to campus. Now, there are those of you that are active like you and Shauna and Olu and stuff who are around here all the time anyway, and y'all want to be interactive and network and stuff. But many, many, many students, they much rather the enroll when the attendance when we were doing it face to face before COVID was maybe 10 to 15. And no, y'all's attendance is, like 40 to 50 online. So, yeah, that's just kind of to let you know. And you may get, say, "Oh yeah, we'll be there," but just don't be real disappointed when they don't come,
No,
you know.
that's what I told them too, because they were like, let's invite outside of our major. I'm like, no, like let's try first to keep it together just to us first and see how successful this is. And if we can do like at the end of the semester, maybe another one, but that's pretty much it. Because like if as long two people show up, that's success for me. Like people at least are interested in this.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
So I'll get back to you. I also wanted to apologize because completely forgot to send you the invite for Saturday. Um,
For what? For what?
the meeting on Saturday because we had the meeting on Saturday morning.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was on my end that I had to send it over to you, but I completely that was my fault. I did not send it to you. Um, I'll make sure later like that doesn't happen in the future.
Where did y'all have a meeting at the library?
No, it was just over Zoom to talk about like this
Oh, okay.
meeting. Yeah, it was over Zoom. It was not in person.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I would appreciate if you let me know because like I didn't know about the networking being on the 7th of March
But
in
I don't know where the updates on that.
the networking event. They last year it was scheduled by last year's board for the 7th of March and they reserved the point for it. But last I'd heard it was up in the air when it was going to be. And then I got this email saying that it was the 7th and it cannot be on the 7th because the three of us that are the people,
Advice.
your advisors, Erliana and me and Lawrence cannot be there. So y'all can't have it without any of us there. So we're looking for a different venue, but it's really tough because of the student union being. So I'm not sure. We may have to just not do it this semester. I don't know, but we can't do it for sure on that Saturday. So anyway, so the communication lines just need to stay open.
Yeah, totally. Like this meeting on Saturday, that was
Don't
totally
worry, sweetie. It happens. I mean, sounds like you're dealing with a lot and reach out for help. Don't be embarrassed or anything to reach out for help, because I know you're very bright and there is no doubt in my mind that if something is not the way it seems to be, then something's going on. So, and it's very real what you're going through, very real. So don't let anybody tell you it's not, because it is. And I don't know I don't know whether I told this class or not, but I am a licensed counselor in Texas. So, so I understand, what the side effects of that and what you need to worry about getting better, getting a handle on it. And I know it's difficult, but you're going to be fine. It's just whatever reason that you got put into this state, it could be any number of things. You may not even know what caused it, but, you'll learn how to cope with it. You go to a counselor, right?
I do and actually which I found it which is another thing that stresses me out. I saw him on Saturday early in the morning. No, that was afternoon. Um, like I don't understand. I don't understand.
He told you that?
No, I do not
Oh,
understand why
oh.
after leaving or after like overnight, like completely everything flipped. Because it was fine, like it's manageable. Like I have grown to manage it very well since I kind of moved to Long Beach. Like the first semester was very difficult, but um, it hasn't gotten this bad. Which like you said, like I don't understand it. I'm being trying to pinpoint what it is specifically to.
And it may not be any specific thing. It could just be a combination, you know, and it may it may straighten itself out, you know, as quickly as it happened, or your counselor's going to help you, have to help you with coping skills.
Yeah,
And
the least I wanted, because we have like the other meetings, we have like projects, we have, and it's like I have already reached out to Annie and Shiam to let them know like I'm like I'll try my best to do everything on time, but I'm not sure. And they are very supportive, but also like being as a leader or like in the board, like it's also the pressure guilty that I'm supposed to be stepping up.
Well, don't stress yourself out and make it worse. Look at your, I don't want you to feel, I don't want you to have these stressors that's going to make it worse. Your primary goal right now is to feel better, to graduate, to get your classes done. The icing on the cake is being on the board. It looks great on your resume and you're really good at it. And I certainly wouldn't want to lose you. But you need to be sure you take care of your health first.
Thank you. I will, and I'm doing it. I just hope it doesn't last that long.
You may be surprised, it may be just something, it could be the weather that triggers it,
Well,
It's funny what things.
a great factor too. That I think it's making it way worse than it
Oh,
already
it
is.
absolutely is. In Louisiana, Louisiana is very, I read about this study years ago, but it's always raining in Louisiana, or, it's always, like just yucky, the weather is, damp and they have more people that get committed or did years and years ago when they had, institutions than any other state,
Yeah,
and they attribute it to the weather.
mm-hmm.
So, now I don't know what it's like now, but this was like a very long time ago, probably 40 years ago. But weather can have a very devastating effect on people. And especially if it's gloomy, like it's been today, that can be very devastating to your psyche. So there's a lot of things that can affect it that you don't even realize it, subconscious. But just keep seeing your counselor and, only know that you can do what you can do, I mean, that's the problem that I have. I go to bed at 2 a.m. and get up at 6, and I'm too old for that. I got to tell you for sure. So, because I have trouble saying no. And so, and so you need to learn. I can't tell you how to do it because I don't know how to do it. But you need to learn how to protect your time a little bit,
Now that
so you
you're
don't get
saying,
overwhelmed.
I did actually practice it the day after I talked to you.
You did what?
I practiced it what you recommended on saying it. Let me think about it and then give an answer.
Good. Good. Yeah, because it's no one else. If a person that does stuff and and gets it done, people are going to keep pounding on them, and so I have a lot of trouble saying no, but it's my culture being raised in the South. We're pleasers for the most part. So, but you need to, as a young age, like you are now, you need to protect yourself from, getting caught in a trap like that. Because another thing that your condition needs is a lot of rest. Because when you're tired, you don't have the skill set to combat it. Let me just think about it. Anybody gets tired, I get tired, I get cranky, and it's not just hangry. I'm just like I just get. So, you need to be sure you protect yourself.
Thank you.
But you're going to be okay. And you're always, if you get feeling real down the dumps, you can't get hold of your counselor or whatever, you can always call me. It's not going to go beyond me, and I'll listen. I won't say much, because I am a counselor, but I wasn't too good at it. I like to order people around, tell them what they should do, what they think. So, but I'm happy to listen.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again, for everything. And now, whenever I can, and as soon as I can, and however I can, I'll give you updates, or if anything, Shion will be contacting you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Feel better. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.